all been pointing and laughing at Eurogamer for giving Arc Raiders 2 out of 5 stars. They said because it's got AI voice acting, they don't want to support it and it's a terrible game. And of course, there are millions of gamers loving the title and supporting it. But it looks like the Access Media now has another target because the same IGN that gave games like Concorda 7 and Dragon Age of Veilguard 9, now they're giving Where Winds Meet a title with over 10 million pre-registrations a 6. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, a lot of my haters say I don't actually like video games, I don't really care about the industry, I hate everything I talk about on the channel, and yeah, I do talk about the horrendous state that the video game industry is in, but I stream video games 25, 30 hours a week, and most of those titles are games that I love, and Where Winds Meet is a game I am so freaking excited for. I'm going to be streaming it over the weekend. I'm going to be streaming it next week. I'm going to be giving it a shot because it looks like it is going to be fantastic. And sure, maybe my hype level is blinding me to big issues this game has. I don't see any big issues. I see a wide variety of different mini games and content, cool classes, really good looking cosmetics. And of course, I do not trust NetEase at all whatsoever. Maybe they'll end up monetizing this game in a couple of weeks in the most predatory way possible. It is free to play though, and I do expect there to be some microtransactions like mounts or skins or things like that, which we do know are in this game, and so far we haven't seen any big pay-to-win mechanics, but Where Winds Meet looks like it truly has a little bit of something for everybody. And of course, because it is not a big AAA corporate Slop title, it looks like it's the next target from the game's media. I don't think that it's important to actually read their entire review because most of it is just complaining, but the verdict is perhaps there's a version of Where Winds Meet that isn't throttled by the storm of its own lofty aspirations. It has a great understanding of what makes this genre such a compelling subgenre of fantasy fiction, bleeding into the vibrancy of its characters and flair of its combat. But it becomes very clear pretty quickly that the attempt to shove many different kinds of experiences into one game, open world adventure, action-heavy MMO, musical rhythm game, card battler, etc., only ensures that none of these elements reach their full potential. Instead, Where Winds Meet is an amusement park where every ride is being run at half speed, and the sugary treats at the concessions stands come with piles of paperwork to complete before you can chow down. So yeah, they're just saying there's too much going on, and it definitely could have been better in terms of like the amount of things they had. Really, it just sounds like they're complaining that there was a lot that they could do, and most of this, like the musical rhythm game and card battler mini games, those are optional. Those are not like required content, so they're just complaining that, oh my gosh, they're giving us more to consume. That is wild to me. I know most of you do not trust the Access Media at this point, which is great because they don't deserve our trust, they don't deserve our clicks, or really our positive attention, but seeing this has really infuriated people, and of course I'd love to call them out. Where Winds Meet has a great understanding of what makes wuxia such a compelling genre, but its attempt to shove so many different things into one game only ensures that none of those elements reach their full potential with a big fat 6. Now, this game is going to be really successful. We have already heard that they have hit 10 million pre-registrations, a milestone worthy of celebration, and of course, there are tons of people saying this is going to be phenomenal, this is going to be great, but when you see the media giving a title a 6, it makes you think that this is going to be an absolute banger. IGN gave it a 6. It must be a good game. Let me guess, IGN can't stand hot women in action-based combat. IGN losing credibility again. Remember when they gave Veilguard a 9? And this is the crux of the issue. I know that they are reviews done by different people, but they all still represent the same company because they all still work together. This is why the new media or independent content creators stay winning, because my opinion is my own. Some other person's opinion that might be in my sphere isn't my own. And so we can all have our different opinions. My opinion doesn't reflect on them and vice versa. And it's probably better that way, because I would not want to work at an IGN and be a bit based and give games like Arc Raiders 8s and Lies of P's 9s, but also have to explain to people constantly that, yeah, my colleague gave Concord a 7 and Veilguard a 9. Like, that's wild to me. One, your reviewer has no clue about the story and the lore of the game. He didn't even try to talk about the story at all. Having too many mini games is for him a bad thing, which is optional. Bro thought he was gonna play an MMO game and got a jump scare. I love you, IGN. In IGN, we don't trust. Yeah, it is absolutely pathetic that they gave Veilguard a 9. Instant opinion discarded. Clearly, this author didn't listen to the dev stream. They said the game is not done. They have way more story and regions to bring to us as time goes by. And this is a little bit infuriating to me, is that the access media still continues to get priority from these game companies when the access media knows nothing about video games. Stop doing that and give independent content creators an opportunity to cover it first. I'm not even talking about myself, right? I'm not salty. I'm going to play it myself in a couple days anyway. But I think that it's so important that they realize the access media is the past and independent creators are the future, and all you're doing is really allowing people who hate video games to try to play it and review it, but they don't know what they're reviewing because they don't play most modern games. Where Winds Meet is free to play, so I'm still gonna check it out myself. Listen, I'm gonna make up my own mind, and yeah, I highly recommend you do that. IGN gave it a 6. We might have a gaudy contender. If IGN gave it a 6, it means I'm gonna love it and that it's probably an 8 or a 9. And if we take a quick peek at the Steam stats, they're pretty good. The followers count is relatively low. 54,000 isn't the best, but at the same time, it's not the worst. Followers don't really matter if they have 10 million pre-registrations on their website and through the multiple channels and like storefronts. So that's all that really matters, is that those people actually show up to play it. But it's number 8 in wishlist activity and number 34 in top wish lists on Steam, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I will be streaming it over the weekend. I'm super excited for it. But when the Euro gamers are giving games like Arc Raiders 2 out of 5s and the IGNs are giving 6s to titles like Where Winds Meet, it just goes to show that they really are intentionally sabotaging games that are not AAA corporate slop. If it's not coming from a Ubisoft or an EA, it's not being developed by their favorites at BioWare and Obsidian and really just hubs for activists, they're much more critical of games. But when it's being made by companies that, yes, they ultimately want to support, they will give those titles high scores, which is why we don't trust them. They are paid off in instances. They are not to be trusted because they don't play a lot of video games, so they don't really know what they're talking about. And overall, it's just pathetic to see this happening yet again. You'd think that they would learn and really try to figure out what is special about a game and highlight that, while also, yes, being critical. It's okay to criticize a game. I'm not saying you can't, but at the same time, their reviews are terrible quality. They don't truly explain what could make this game better in their opinion, meaning I just think that they wanted to hate it from the start. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.